Hey, hello, friends.
How come the theme was longer this time?
Oh yeah, I had to post a thing in the Simpsons Discord.
Oh, okay.
The winner of the poll, and the r/Simpsons, they have their own Discord. If you don't want to be on Reddit, but you want to interact with the Reddit people that like the Simpsons, go to r/the Simpsons Discord, where I put a poll up there every week of our 2 episodes that we're going to cover. And today it's Simpsons Safari, season 12, episode 17, and Bart Star from season 9, episode 7. Currently tied on the Discord poll.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, we have 3 people on the show this week, so there's not going to be any ties here.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we'll make it.
We have solved the issue that we had last week.
It's true. We've got Chad Walgo as always, and of course joining us from the probably still frozen wastelands of Ohio. It's Joe.
It's actually, I'm not going to call it warm, but it's like in the between the 30s and 40s.
Mhm.
40s at a nice time, but probably 30s.
Okay.
It's not freezing.
Quite frozen. Right. It's just above freezing.
Yeah. In some areas, flowers are starting to bloom, and it's not a good thing. We're like, wait, no. No
flowers. Yeah. We're talking about The Simpsons. This is a bracket that we're doing, right? 508 episodes, 23 seasons of The Simpsons, the first 23 seasons. We're gonna figure them all out. If we do one matchup a week, that's 10 years. If we do 2 matchups a week, it'll be 5 years.
Mhm.
If we do 4 matchups a week, that'll be like 2.5 years. If we do 500 matchups in 1 week, it'll be done in a week, and then we can move on and do something else.
Yeah.
I think if we do 500 matchups in 1 week, we'll die.
24-hour stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely do that for this year's summer fundraiser.
Oh yeah, just for 12 hours,
just marathon it. Oh my god, that'd be great.
Yeah, we could probably do that. Yeah, why not? Or just watch the Simpsons movie over and over again for 12 hours.
Yeah, we could do that too.
Yeah.
Or just random episodes, because you said that you had found some sort of random episode chooser thing, right?
Oh, someone had made one with a Raspberry Pi, but I'm sure we can look up how to do it. Can't be that hard. Just make a big red button. Do it.
All right. Do we need to ask Joe about like his history with the Simpsons or anything?
Yeah, of course we do. I don't know.
All right,
Joe. Were you one of those kids that wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons? I'm always curious about those people.
Oh no.
Okay.
No. I pretty much grew up with The Simpsons.
Yeah.
It's if I was gonna choose things that are like the pillar of my pop culture and like comedic sense,
yeah,
The Simpsons is like one of the pillars. Definitely grew up watching most of it. Like, I'm a huge fan of like the golden seasons, so from like 1 to around 9.
Right. Yeah.
I definitely like stuff afterwards too, but like that's where I find my favorite episodes are around there.
Yeah, and I watched like up until season 13, I think, is when I was watching it every week, and I figured, oh, it's all about the same level of quality of those later seasons. But as we learned today, like by the time they get to season 12, things start getting a little not as good.
Yeah.
When were you born, Joe?
87.
Oh,
So it came
Okay,
out
so
about 2
so
years
you
after.
do predate The Simpsons.
yeah.
Yes, I do not
Okay.
fall into the place of The Simpsons is older than me. The
Mhm.
cursed.
As long as you still predate The Simpsons, people that come after The Simpsons, it's I don't know how to deal with those people.
Because then if they grew up with The Simpsons, then you have to ask what era.
Hmm
Right.
I was like, well, what era?
What is The Simpsons that you remember?
I was like, oh yeah, well, I'd watch it. I'd trudge through it so I could watch episodes of Family Guy and American Dad. And I'd be like, ooh, oh,
Oh,
well, you definitely had to trudge through those ones.
it's true.
I've heard that later seasons of The Simpsons, like they're like the current season, they're actually trying newer stuff and revitalizing it slightly, which sounds interesting. I just haven't watched it.
Yeah. I think I don't know, my thesis for this whole thing is that the Simpsons, and I don't know if this is going to really bear through all the way, but Simpsons was a huge deal for us growing up because it taught us about the world and things. Like I still haven't seen the movie Cape Fear, but I know what it's about just because that Sideshow Bob episode and seeing it 500 times, and like that's how I learned about a lot of things, and that's why it was a huge part of my growing up, my coming of age, right? But as an adult, when I'm watching them make fun of stuff, Lady Gaga or something, where it's like, oh well, it's a thing that I'm already too old to care about anyways, and now I'm watching you do this thing, so it's like it doesn't have that same. I'm not learning about the world anymore. I'm just watching a thing, something that I don't kind of care about anyways.
I have a
So,
similar.
yeah.
I'm of a similar vibe with that, but I feel like from season 1 to 13, 12 or so,
Right.
at least 9, they didn't do so much pop. They definitely did pop culture things, and they
Right.
definitely did special guests, but they started to go more and more into having direct special guests, like having Lady Gaga on there,
Right.
having like The Simpsons visit Japan happens more often in the later seasons, where it feels
Right.
like the earlier seasons felt more grounded. So even when there was pop culture references, it would feel like they're grounded more within the world and these characters. So you could go back and still enjoy it without having to think about the pop culture reference, I feel. I could be wrong on that though, because I haven't gone back and watched the older stuff.
Yeah,
in a long time,
because
too.
like it would be pop culture references, but it'd be to like a movie that's already like it'd be like The Shining, like was already 20 years old when they did the Shining episode, as opposed to who is a popular musician right now, or 2 months ago when they made the episode, right?
There was like that big. They were making like a big deal about the fact that they're gonna have Billie Eilish on this season. I almost said Billie Irish, and it's just like no. That does sound like a musician, but
right.
probably a very different genre.
Yeah, it's something in your Japanese DNA just makes you want to say it that way.
I
even
was
though you
also
don't have an
looking up
accent.
the Simpsons Go to Japan episode where they make the Rashomon joke, so that could also have been messing with me.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, the Rashomon joke, so good.
Yeah. And is that 30 seconds over spring or whatever? I don't know. Anyways, we'll get to it.
We should probably talk about the 2 episodes we're supposed to be talking about today.
Yeah. So
I
anyway,
wanted to
Simpsons
talk about
Safari.
the Japanese episode.
We'll invite you back when that comes around.
Yeah.
That's one of my faves too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This is another traveling episode.
Yeah, I always liked those. I thought. Now I
Mhm.
don't know.
I mean, I really like the Australian one too. I lightly remember this one. Like,
Yeah.
I remember the gags, but now I
Right.
remember why I don't remember this episode. Like this.
There's not a lot of things you want to remember about this one.
Yeah, like the animal stuff, I think is pretty funny. A lot of the animal stuff, but anytime there's people involved, and it's like, ooh, It's mostly
Yeah.
Hank Azaria doing accents for people with very different ethnic backgrounds than he has.
Yeah,
The first
The
thing
guy
I-
to get go to for that.
lots of not great stereotyping going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Like you brought it back with the old lip disc. I was like, ooh. I saw that. I was like, Although there were a few jokes.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
okay, so there were some good isolated jokes I really enjoyed.
Hmm.
And I feel
Mm.
like that's just the power of just the writing in general, is like you're
Mhm.
going to get some good gags. But structurally speaking, out of all the Simpsons travel ones, this is the most dated.
Yeah.
It feels extremely dated. Um, I almost would want you guys, like, it would be great to have like a side list of like the Simpsons episodes have aged the worst. Because I would say this one would be topping it.
Right.
So far out of the 4, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Because
But I don't know.
We
I
should
don't know
just
what
like,
kind of yeah.
instead of having a list for that, we should just have like a championship crown or cup or belt,
Yeah.
and then it's just which episode is going to have aged badly enough to unseat Simpsons Go to Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Also,
down for
have
that.
they ever gone back?
I don't think so.
Because it would be nice if they went back and
Hmm.
they actually went to a place that had like like cities and stuff,
Right. Yeah.
and they didn't portray everyone as living in huts.
Yeah,
It's true. There's not. I don't know if there's a single building in Africa.
yeah, like
In Simpsons Africa.
I thought that the shoe was gonna drop and that they would be like shown that they were being scammed, or there was some like
Right.
some kind of commentary about their very touristy ways in this college in this
Yeah.
country. And that shoe never dropped.
Yeah. I mean,
Really.
I kind of did with like the Jane Goodall lady and her chimp
Mhm.
diamond mine, but that was not.
It did feel like there
Yeah.
was a setup to have them being tricked
Yeah.
with the animals that were not doing the correct things.
That one was really, I did really like that one. And also the cheetah. I was like, that cheetah
Yeah.
doesn't seem very fast.
Oh,
And I
that
did-
cheetah gag was so good. Like that actually jump scared me.
I was like checking it out at work, and I burst out laughing. It was so good. I'm like, Jesus. Okay, they know how to do a good chortle.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was a good one.
But,
Also, the
yeah.
plane gag was good too. Of was
The-
it
The former president.
oh no, not the former president. We're now landing in was it not New Guinea.
It's someplace, and then it became like New Zanzibar, and then Pepsi presents New Zanzibar. That was
Yes.
very funny.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you guys got it. All you
Yeah.
needed was a little bit more research. You could have structured the entire episode around those two gags
Hmm.
of President Montu and that. Y'all would have had something to say and everything. It would have been
Yeah.
great. Oh, wait, no, here comes the colonial racism. Oh boy, and it came in hard.
There's a weird bit where they're sitting down at the village and they're drinking the blood in the cups, and there's like, what kind of blood is this? And they go, cow blood, and then they do a spit take. And it's like, oh, what kind of blood would they have been okay with?
Yeah.
Also, why were they not okay with cow blood?
Yeah.
Also, why were they why were they serve blood? I mean,
Yeah.
for me,
That's-
what
I didn't
bothers
even-
me is
Racism.
like
That's not on my
Probably
stereotype
racism.
list.
yeah.
It's not a stereotype that I know of,
Yeah.
but I feel like given the other like I would say 40% racism makeup of this episode,
Right.
like I'm just gonna go and toss it towards that pile,
Yeah.
and then
Let's
just
do that.
assume that it's a stereotype I'm unfamiliar with.
Right. Yeah. It's one of those
And
ones that just
it
hasn't
makes me feel better
stuck around for the last 20 years.
if that's true, because it means that I'm not racist enough to know about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
Good that
feel
you don't
like
have
the
A running
blood
list of racial stereotypes.
a
Mhm.
lot of that blood stuff probably also comes down to like just savage stereotype, the idea
Yeah.
of like
Mhm.
these are people that live in mud huts, and of course
Yeah.
they do backwards things type things.
Right. Like there's probably a good chance the first pitch for that joke was like it was human blood and they were cannibals. The first pitch.
Yeah, and then they had to part down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I do like when Homer's playing the bongos and he bongos on a
Hippo.
hippo. He goes, oh, a hungry hippo.
I was like, let's go into the water. He can't swim.
Hippos are afraid of water,
Yeah.
That was a.
and that particular hippo did happen to be afraid of water.
It was.
Oh, there we go.
Can we go to the inciting incident of the episode with the strike though?
Oh, the bag boys.
Oh yeah.
The bag boy strike. I did enjoy that, and I kind of wish they found a way to tie that in at the end. I don't know how they would have done it. Just would have been
Well,
nice.
I love that. Yeah, I just love that they had a grudge against bag boys and the end credits. That was my
Mhm.
that was my Frankie act for this episode. The end credits. Find it.
I'm trying to
But
think.
anyways, yeah, the whole bad boy thing. But yeah, the whole opening part where they're doing the shopping and they're like, oh, I need these cupcakes for school.
I need this
I'm out of
wine.
wine. Yeah, and they just give up. At some point, they just start and then they just start throwing stuff in the cart. That was very funny. This is my thing. Dedicated to the hardworking bag boys of America. You go, oh, that's nice. Whose ineptness and greed were the inspiration for this episode. That's very funny.
I love that the entire line was probably written by someone who shops there.
Yeah.
Who has the shop.
Yeah.
I just great. The Jane Woodall thing kind of bothered me a little bit. And I think it was just an overall energy of the episode type of thing. Where I'm like, okay, she did these openly evil, very terrible, exploitative things, and then you write it off as she had diamond madness. And I'm like, I get it. She's stuck in the jungle. She was also like, the history of Africa is built on the exploitation of brown people and blood diamond mines.
Right.
Like, you're taking this extremely lightly. Like, I get it as a comedy show. I get it's The Simpsons, but like sometimes I expect a little bit better.
Yeah.
And also it's of its time, but it's the 90s. It's not that much of its time.
Well, this episode, by the way, April 1st, 2001. So this is pre 9/11, but still 21st century.
Honestly, the idea that they had the diamond mine and they had the monkeys that were specifically the ones that were mining the diamonds really felt like one of those moments where it's like, you need to make sure that there's a black person in the room when you're writing an episode about Africa. He might not have ever been to Africa, but he's going to be able to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, having monkey slaves,
that's a
really
bad
close
look.
To it. Yeah, it's a bad thing. But the idea of the Jane Goodall lady, exploiting the monkeys and making them like mine diamonds, that by itself is not that bad. But when you start, bringing in all of the cultural, stuff that goes along with that, and you go, oh yeah, this is not actually, maybe we shouldn't do this.
I did, although choose for my Frankiac for this episode. I was a big fan of where is it? Screen share. There it is. Homer on the bed. Look at me. I'm a scientist. I don't know why that made me laugh so much, but it did.
I think my favorite one was Bart's response in the entire situation. Maybe we shouldn't be so quick to judge her until we look at what her actual research is. And everybody looks at him. It's like, what? I haven't said anything for a while. I was like, that also made me laugh out loud.
Yeah. They opened up the book of research, just pictures of famous monkeys from movies. And I like how they kept using the word monkeys instead of apes. And nobody pointed out that chimpanzees are apes, not monkeys. You don't need to say that every time.
Were they supposed to be chimps?
Yeah. Right? I think so. Yeah. They weren't monkeys. They didn't have tails.
Did they also at the end of the episode, were they implying that Homer was about to get smothered?
Oh,
Mm,
with the
there-
pillow?
Yeah, because like
I didn't really.
early in the episode, the
Right.
gag was it was a bloodless coup, lots of
mhm.
smotherings.
Oh
Then
yeah,
at the end
just
of
like
the
Jimmy
episode,
Carter.
then at the end of the episode,
Yeah.
he shows up
Oh, yeah.
and Homer makes fun of him and he says, "Hey, where's my pillow?"
Yeah. Because the ex president who had smothered all of his political rivals. Now he's their what's it called?
Their flight attendant,
Flight attendant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
which I mean, all things considered, probably the lightest you can get off being deposed in another country.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. He didn't get his head cut off or anything. It was
Yeah, and get all his property seized and shot in his car or something. You know?
I mean, he probably did get his property seized,
Oh yeah, no,
but no car bomb,
yeah.
no public execution. So, good for flight attendant Mutu.
yeah.
It's just the entire concept of the episode is like, as soon as I saw it was about to happen, I was like, wait a second, you guys are going there. Okay, well, hopefully you'll treat it as good as any other episode.
Your favorite part.
Yes.
There's a lot of words in that.
Yeah, you definitely needed to do some editing to that one.
Yeah, I need to make that a 2-panel or something.
But I'm not going to say that the other Simpsons episodes that go to other countries are as culturally cognizant, but they feel a little bit more so. No, there's definitely a lot of broad strokes because even the Japanese one and the Australian one, there's a lot of broad strokes in those episodes.
Mhm.
It's just the cultural history behind Africa,
Right?
Makes it hit different.
Like doing those kind of stereotypes of Australian people doesn't have the same history, and
It's not as fraught.
yeah.
Also, that particular episode is a special type of ridiculous because I remember it just builds up to a fever pitch of like ridiculous things. Like, I think in that episode they say, Bart, you could choose between getting kicked by everyone in Australia or one kick.
Yeah, one giant boot.
And they say one kick, and a guy with a giant boot comes out.
Yeah,
and then all of Australia is chasing them, and I'm like, okay, this is great. We don't get that in this episode. It feels kind of like they're tiptoeing, but also not really thinking it through.
yeah.
Also, it honestly kind of feels like they never had a real idea for the episode, and they had like 3 different, not even arcs. It was just like,
bits.
how long can we extend this bit? Yeah, like there was the safari bit, and there's these people are more civilized than we give them credit for bit, which in and of itself not great.
Right.
And
kinda
there's the monkeys
been
bit.
done. Yeah.
Yeah. And they feel very disconnected. It makes the whole episode feel like a whole lot of nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With liberal amounts of racism put throughout there, which is unfortunate.
So Tuesday, July 9th, 2024, we'll be covering the Simpsons Go to Australia episode.
Ooh.
Where'd it go? February 16th, 2026, that'll be Simpsons Go to Japan. So mark those on your calendar.
2026.
I'm sure that we'll still remember that the Rashomon joke is funny in 4 years.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about it another 15 times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
At least.
Anytime that we reference the Simpsons traveling anywhere, we're probably going to bring that joke up.
Simpsons or Japan or anything.
I can't even remember the
Good
Rashomon joke. Y'all brought it up a couple times. I was like,
I think Chad and I are thinking of it slightly differently.
Which one are? No, you're just referencing the joke.
We're gonna write out that joke tonight, just so you know what it is.
Because I'm thinking the Mr. Sparkles episode.
I don't think they go to Japan on that one.
Wait, no, wait, do they? Because I thought he finds out he's on the thing, and then they go to Japan because of that. Or did they win a contest and go?
I think
they win a lot of contests.
Yeah, that's where most international travel happens. So I think I was trying to show my wife this Mr. Sparkles thing, and that was a different episode. Maybe I'm wrong.
I also cannot remember, so I'm not gonna I'm not fighting anybody
Yeah.
on that one.
In Marge We Trust, that was a different episode. Yeah, that's the one where Marge, she becomes the church phone lady. That gets
Oh.
referenced later. Yeah, so that was a different episode. There we go.
Oh, the church counselor? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a reference that gets thrown out next episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
so
It's all connected. It's
Mhm.
the Simpsons cinematic universe. Does it count? Do you have to keep track of that if it's all the same show? Probably
I mean, eventually they stop caring about their own continuity.
not.
Yeah.
There just becomes a curve point where it's like, wait a second, you guys are referencing a time period in which you guys were already out. Wait, no,
Yeah.
this doesn't make any sense.
Because then the next episode we're going to see Homer in the 70s doing his gymnastics thing. But I think now canonically that he was in high school in the 90s in a grunge band. I think it'll change it again soon too.
Yeah, which at that point, like that goes back to like the changes I've been seeing for the Simpsons, where they're trying to make it more plastic.
Yeah,
and try and make it feel like a more like the setting feel like more. I don't know how to really put in. Timeless.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about the continuity as much.
Yeah, it's rough when you don't want to let people age, because that's why the Punisher keeps on fighting in different wars when he's supposed to be a Vietnam vet.
Right.
Now it's like, oh, that would make him too old to be the Punisher.
Right.
Yeah. Or he'd be a very, very interesting Punisher.
Yeah, we're going to run out of real wars soon for him to have fought in.
No, they'll just make up fake ones then.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they've
That's the way they
already
should do
made
it.
up fake ones more than once.
Yeah.
Oh, like a conflict against some
Mhm.
unnamed country.
I'm sure
the
that
top.
they name the country, but it's a fictional country.
Yeah, one of the Marvel countries.
I was going to say that. Well, yeah, essentially you Top Gun it up.
Hmm
Yeah.
But yeah, so none of us has really great opinions on this episode.
Yeah, I mean, there were funny bits though. I did like the mosquito net thing where Bart had a ton of mosquitoes in his net, and it's because it was inside out.
Mhm.
You know, that it shouldn't matter. That was funny.
Yeah.
There were a lot of really fun individual jokes in this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
It's just that nothing really built or connected. The only connective tissue that this episode had was a lot of tone deafness,
Yeah.
a lot of cultural ignorance.
It almost felt like when sitting down writing it, they had a bunch of ideas for jokes
Right.
that they were hoping would stick into an episode, and it just never happened.
Yeah, and all the jokes were based off of what do you know about Africa, and everything about Africa is at the same level as everything I know about pirates. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's peg legs and hooks. There's guys living in grass huts, and there's the hippos.
And yeah, and the girls
I
had
feel like
the coils around their necks, and the guys
Yeah.
would put the. I'm still impressed that they did that joke. I'm like, just bravo, you guys went for it.
Because I
You
think
did the lip disc.
there was a way to do the neck thing, because like you could see that the girl had Lisa's pearls on. It's like, oh, they traded like neck things, and that was like a cultural exchange kind of thing. That could have worked. But then like Bart just having the lip thing, it's like, okay, we just
I
stereotypes again.
I did like the fact that Marge said that they already talked about it, and she told him no lip disking.
Yeah, that was fun.
I also would have accepted, Bart, we talked about this. I told you no cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
That would actually have been a really smart joke from Marge. I would have.
I think that was a word back then.
Yeah, I don't think that in 2001 there were very many people that tossed that phrase around.
Yeah.
We probably would have gotten a different episode then.
Hmm
if that was more of a thing. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a 2017 joke.
Oh,
when they go back to Africa.
Just all around a rough episode. I feel.
Mhm.
I think we can all this. I think we know ahead of time who's going to win.
I think so.
Yeah, and it's Bart Starr.
Yeah, Bart
Yeah.
Starr from season 9, episode 7.
My favorite season, because it's got my favorite episode. It's not this one, but it's a goodie.
Yeah. Let me guess what your favorite episode is. Let me pull up season 9. While I pull that up, what is the episode about? This episode's about football. Everyone's too fat in Springfield, and they have to get all the kids to play football. Your favorite episode isn't the principal and the pauper, is
it? It's not that one.
Okay. Or the one with the angel skeleton? Ooh, Das Boss. It's Das Boss.
Which one's Das Boss?
That's the one where the bus crashes off a bridge or something, and they all end up in an island. All the kids. It's Lord of the Flies.
No, not that one.
Oh.
Because I don't think you only move twice is on season 9. I think that's a different season.
Yeah, it's a different season. What is it? I give up.
Oh, it's City of New York versus Homer Simpson.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Nice.
It's just whenever I have a chance to say, no, thank you, I'll take the crab juice. It's a good day.
Yeah, this week, I've got too many tabs open. I can't talk to you guys. This week, Bart Star, season 9, episode 7. You got to play football.
So many good bits in here.
Yeah. And just looking at this versus Simpsons Safari Roleplay, like this is a episode that's primarily about a relationship between Homer and Bart, and it's so much better.
Yeah, when Simpsons is not based on like what is the way that we get these characters into the situation where we came up with a bunch of bits, and instead it's about what would happen between these two characters.
Right.
It's always a better episode, or at least it always used to be. I don't know. Maybe now they're bad at writing those.
Right.
Who knows?
But I mean, generally, it's just storytelling wise, that's usually a better way to do things.
Yeah, you have that connection point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cats.
Don't let the plot move the characters. Make the characters move the plot.
And I think this episode did it really well.
I also really enjoyed Homer and Flanders in this episode, where it did not matter what the facts were. It did not matter like how intimidated Homer was. Like he stuck to his guns that he hates Flanders.
And I also love that he legitimately got under Flanders' skin when normally that doesn't happen as much.
Right.
And Flanders is like, you know what? Nah, you got to learn a lesson.
Yeah,
his character
scene with Flanders like coming up the stairs like that, it was just like, oh shit. I did not remember they ever drew Flanders to look intimidating.
Yeah.
Like I always thought
it a few times.
But I always thought it was always just like, it's Flanders or it's stupid sexy Flanders.
Yeah.
I thought that was it.
I mean, there's also
modes.
There's also muscular cut Flanders from freaking streetcar named
Marge. I put that into stupid sexy Flanders.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
that's all
sexy Flanders. Yeah, but anytime Flanders goes to the top of a set of bleachers, something serious is going to happen.
Oh God. She's with.
So something I noticed in this episode and also the last one. So in the last one, there's a bit about Lenny and Carl, and Lenny's wearing a red hat because they're gonna do like some kind of cookout or something. And Carl's in like a full tuxedo. I was like, whoa, I thought it was gonna be formal, but it's not. But the red hat is a weird thing that comes up, and I don't know what the deal is. I'm gonna unpack this as we go along here, because it's the red hat is what Flanders wears as he's the coach, and that's what he sticks on Homer's head. And then later on, Grandpa Simpson's wearing a red hat. So I wonder if it's some sort of subliminal messaging about Trump stuff. I don't know.
I'm sure it's not Trump stuff because of the time period.
Yeah.
And Simpsons doesn't actually know how to predict the future, no matter how many memes you've seen about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's something here, and I'm going to make a whole 4-hour video about it one day. Yeah, red hats. Because also, but Bart's red hat. It's a thing. Anyways.
Maybe it's some kind of reference to the Goblin.
Goblin?
Red caps.
Oh, yeah, those guys are dangerous.
Mm.
Don't fuck with red caps.
I don't know. Oh, this is Overlord. What?
Red caps are like a rank of goblin.
Oh, okay.
There's
They're like a
regular goblin.
folklore thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know they were also folklore.
Yeah, no, it's not just made up for like nerds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not just a Pathfinder thing.
All
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but the
it's
red cap, Violet Goblin of the Borders.
Dutch folklore apparently.
Yeah.
I just know they'll mess you up. They'll ruin your day.
Well, the reason why they're called red caps is because they dye their hats red with the blood of their victims.
Ah.
Which I guess if they're not murdering people, they would be white hats, and that would make them good.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. It's the classic like Western kind of thing.
Mhm,
You get the good guy in the white hat and then the bad goblin in the red hat.
mhm.
That's how that works.
Freaking scary.
So, yeah. So this episode starts off with a like a health fair, right? And
Mhm.
it's got a great thing of where they show all the different booths, which is a good time to throw in a bunch of like sight gags and stuff.
Mhm.
Remember Dr. Nick having one that's like, "What's your sex?" And he's just sitting there with his hands out, just to, I guess, fondle people's genitals.
Who knows what he was going to do other
Yeah.
than introduce himself?
She says, "What do you always want to see him do
Mhm.
more than anything?"
It's like say the line, Doctor Nick.
Yeah. So I do start every email that I send to people with, or multiple people, anyways, with "Hey, everybody," and I do it in my head in the Dr. Nick voice, but I don't think anyone else does.
Oh, what's the highest level of education that you've hit, David?
So I have my bachelor's degree.
Okay,
My computer.
so not even close to getting to be like, "Hi, everybody, I'm Dr. Jones."
No,
Although
my wife would
once
be
you
young.
become
Yeah.
Dr. Jones, then there's
There's no
the
time for
other
love.
jokes that open
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole world.
Yeah.
hmm Yeah, you got to become a doctor, David.
I'll buy
There's
you a
going to be
whip.
so much more joke potential.
It's true.
We'll buy you a whip. We'll get you a hat.
Did you have a dog growing up?
I did. Yeah.
What was his name?
His name was Bo.
Bo Jones.
Bo Jones. That's when we start getting
Yes.
into that. What's your porn star name
Mhm.
situation there?
I was just thinking because Sean Connery says the dog's name was Indiana.
Yeah.
That's how Indiana Jones got his name.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's named
wonder if
after his dog.
Yeah.
Indeed.
No, but my birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy
Happy
belated
to me.
birthday.
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Because my name David Jones is the same name as David Bowie, whose birthday was also yesterday.
Ooh.
So if anything, my parents named me after David Bowie, but
Mhm.
there are definitely two people that don't care about David Bowie at all. So I don't think that's what happened. Just a weird.
Oh, I didn't mention in Simpson Safari the
Yeah.
couch gig. That
Oh
was
yeah.
that was like a big thing. Like it
They
was
used a
like
lot.
yeah, because normally the couch gag is just like they would throw in like the kick line, and that would
Right.
be good enough. And then they had like juggling unicyclists,
Yeah.
and it's just like,
Elephants.
oh, what? And they just kept adding on to it and adding on to it, and it was just like, is this like a celebration of something? Is this an anniversary episode?
Yeah, it makes it seem like it's going to be a big special episode.
Yeah, and it was only especially not very good.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
it's
this
been-
one they just get turned into a cube. So
Yeah.
between these two episodes, I'll say the couch gag goes to Simpson Safari.
No,
Yeah.
I'm happy to win something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out it's the most commonly used elongated couch gag that's been used. And it's used to make up for shorter episodes. On nine episodes use it.
Oh,
so far.
that's a repeated one.
Yeah. I feel like it's one.
Uh,
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it on a bunch of them. Cape
Kitty.
Fear in particular.
Kid A.
Oh,
Hi,
hey.
baguette. It's my kitty
Also-
baguette.
Also, that totally makes sense if it's one that gets used in episodes where they ran out of jokes,
Yeah.
because that episode definitely could have used some more of those.
Yeah.
some kind of through line, emotional
A little more
content.
story would have been nice. Yeah, just
Yeah.
an emotional arc.
But yeah, this
It
one, great emotional arc.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Homer was a bit of a bastard.
yeah.
Mhm.
So he takes over. He takes over as coach when he heckles Ned Flanders into finally just giving up and making him the coach to show him how hard it is. And he has this flashback to how his dad never supported him when he wanted to be a floor gymnast. Which I don't think we ever see that ever come up again, do we?
No, that seemed like a
I don't
one-off thing.
recall it ever
Yeah.
coming up, but I am no Simpsons scholar.
That's true. But you will be with 10 years from now.
Mhm.
It definitely goes into the big box of like skills that each Simpsons character has that are never referenced again. But it's like a Swiss Army knife that it can pull out on a whim.
It's true.
Mhm.
It's there. It's in the toolbox now, so they can reach in and grab it whenever they want. Yeah, that's when Homer realizes, well, my dad never supported me, so from now on, it was the line or something like, starting for the day or something. I'm not going to make the same mistake from now on. I'm going to be kinder to my son and meaner to my dad.
Mhm.
Nice thesis for the episode.
Which is a great line.
Yeah.
And then led to my other favorite line. I was like, come here, son, come and hug me. He's being too nice. It's a trick. I
Yeah.
must run.
It's a trick. Run like the wind.
Yeah.
Hug me, boy.
Like, oh.
I was thinking about making that my Frankiac, but instead, I did the you can do anything you want. I have total faith in you. Since when? Since your mother yelled at me.
I also really liked it's okay, Dad. I'll take his place.
Mhm.
Yeah, when he gets arrested for arson and something else. But I did love the Marge keeps asking for a cup, but she keeps talking around it. So the guy keeps giving her all the different other pieces of equipment, like the helmet, the shoulder pads, and things. And finally, she goes, "I want a cup." He goes, "Cup? Can you spell that?" And she goes, "Yeah, I want a CUP." Oh, hey. It's just a fun joke.
Yeah, it was a funny bit, but
Yeah.
when I was watching that, I was like, is this supposed to be like a sexual harassment thing? Or is this supposed to just be a throwaway joke?
Right.
And it was a throwaway joke, but it's like it felt like the kind of thing where it's like I'm gonna force this lady to say that
Right.
she wants to see me pee so that I can whip out my dick,
Oh,
which is obviously not the character of the Simpsons show,
right.
but that's what it felt like the joke was leading up to.
Yeah.
It is weird that this strange man is tricking her into doing it. So I was thinking of more of like the juvenile, schoolyard way of trying to get someone to spell I cup just to make them say I see.
It felt like it needed a reaction from that guy before it ended, and I didn't really get that. And I was like,
Right.
oh.
Yeah, like
okay.
even if all he did was just like got him. Like that
Gotcha.
would have made it so much more innocent.
Yeah.
Or him getting disgusted, like
Mhm.
like he was honestly innocent and had no idea this was gonna happen.
No.
And
Like
so
he
Marge
didn't
is the one that gets
orchestrate
upset.
this series of events to make Marge say that.
Yeah.
That also would have been good.
That would have been good.
It was like, but instead it just kind of fell,
Oh.
Mhm.
which was
Yeah.
strange, especially since there were so many hits this episode.
Right.
The Lisa gag was so damn good. I'm sorry, that was
I love
like
that.
masterfully done.
Yeah.
It was like I want to join the team. It was like great,
Mhm.
you can join
Yeah.
like the 4 other girls on the team. I was like, oh well.
Shut up.
I mean, the episode where Lisa plays hockey, that was from season
Mhm.
6.
Shut up.
So it's like
It's
they've already done that.
12:30.
Oh, what? A girl's gonna
Shut
play
the
a
fuck up,
boys score? But yeah.
Okay.
please. You're screaming.
All right.
Oh, Joe's being too loud.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where that voice is coming from. All right, but yeah, that
Joe's
was...
sleeping wife is where that voice
Yeah,
was coming from.
it is very late on the East Coast, so
Yes, it
apologize
is.
for that.
My bad.
Don't apologize to us.
Yeah, don't apologize to us.
Oh yeah, I want to apologize to her. I didn't
Yeah.
realize I was being so loud.
Got to get you soundproofing in your room.
hmm
Want to be
Get you a
your
little booth,
studio. Yeah,
a little voiceover booth.
Yeah.
get you one of those throat mics that the SWAT team uses. You can just
Ooh.
use the vibration off your larynx.
Oh, the sub vocal whatever thing.
Yeah,
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah, those things look cool.
yeah. Make you look like a special forces guy.
hmm
What?
So, when Bart quits the team and Homer says like, "Oh, looks like you're just gonna quit dinner. You must learn this behavior from your mother.
Yeah,
Like she's a quitter. She's quit everything that she's ever done. Cop, pretzel vendor, church counselor, professional gambler. Okay,
yeah,
so I know cop and church counselor
yeah.
are legit pulls.
Yes.
Was pretzel vendor a legit pull
Oh,
too?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
That one. The main thing I remember about that one was when she made a coupon to kind of like she had like a pretzel cart, and
And
she
they
made a
started
coupon. It was like
beating
buy
people.
one or get or like a coupon for one free pretzel, but like then there was no like fine print on there. This is like one per person or something. So I think Cleta shows up with just a stack of coupons and just takes all the pretzels.
hmm
I don't remember the
Calls
rest
out
of
the
episode.
entire. Oh yeah, calls out the entire family.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right.
so Lisa taking the progressive
Oh yeah,
stand
yeah,
and having already been out progressived by Flanders and the team
yeah.
was such a good
It
bit.
was very, very funny. So she starts with I'm a girl. It's like, okay, cool, we have a girl. But okay, fine. Well, you can't play football with a pig's skin. I'm like, no, it's synthetic. And she said,
And
"Okay, fine."
also, every football that we buy, $1 goes to Amnesty International.
Yeah. See, what Lisa didn't know at the time, what modern day Lisa would know is that the next thing she would bring up is the CTE thing, I think.
hmm
Then she'd have her moral high ground back.
Oh
But they
no.
didn't do that then.
So the one of the other running bits that I think that we may do in the show
Hmm.
is David pointing out books that
Oh,
people
yeah.
read in the show. And this one had sports most gruesome injuries.
Very funny. Just the head.
hmm
Yeah, another running bit in this one is Homer once he becomes coach, he just starts cutting people, and he's just cutting people throughout the episode to the point where over the end credits, he's just cutting out all the cast and crew.
hmm
Very funny. Oh, and then the Joe Namath thing, very funny. Joe
Mhm.
Namath shows up in the backyard, and Bart
Just
asks him for
Just remember
advice.
everything I told you.
he goes, okay, there's one thing you need to know about being a quarterback. And then his wife calls for him and says, hey, we fixed the car. It was just vapor lock. And he just leaves. Remember what I told you? And he didn't say anything. Right? Yes, I don't know anything about vapor lock. I looked it up and I forgot about it.
That was the whole moral of the episode was
Yeah, I
Vapor
know.
Lock.
The two morals from this show, they both have kind of over the credits morals at the end of the episode that bag boys are greedy and inept, and vapor lock is an important thing you need to watch out for with your car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's caused by liquid fuel.
And that
Changing
Nelson's
sequence.
Nelson's an arsonist.
Yeah, and good at football, which makes sense because he's a big bully, and he wears a leather helmet. That's very fun.
hmm So one thing I did want to mention about this episode, the name of the episode, Bart Star. It's because Bart is the star of the team according to Homer,
Right.
but also there was a football player named Bart Starr.
Yeah.
He was a quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, and him having the name Bart Starr is the reason why my dad started following that team. Like he's just like, that's such a cool name. This is my favorite team. So he's a Green Bay Packers fan and he passed it down to me. So it's like,
Oh.
oh, that's the reason why I'm a Packers fan is
Right.
because Bart Starr's name is Bart Starr.
Was it because your dad's a Simpsons fan, or just because it's a cool name regardless?
No, he was a football fan well before The Simpsons existed.
Ah, just thought Star was a good name for a star player.
Hmm.
Nice.
Like Ringo,
Right.
another
Oh,
star.
yeah. Ringo. Can't think of another famous star at the top of my head.
Yeah,
Star
neither
Lord.
can I.
Yeah. But this episode is also when we find out that at the end, her goes to the Quickie Mart and asks Apu for Skittlebrow. You know, that beer with candy in it.
Which is a real thing now, right?
Oh, I mean, people have
Like,
made their own versions of it. I found.
Okay, yeah, because like I know that in the show it was a thing that he dreamt up, but I feel like it became a real thing because of that episode.
Yeah, I think people have
That
made.
can't,
versions of it.
that can't be real. Ew. What kind of beer would you even put
It's
it
probably
in?
not legit real. It's probably just something that someone made.
Yeah,
'Cause
someone put a
Yeah.
label on the can.
you would have to get the who makes Skittles? Is it the Mars Corporation?
That sounds right. It's got to be right.
Yeah.
Either
but
them or the other one. I don't.
What
Probably
kind,
Mars.
what,
Whoever
what
it
kind
is.
of what kind of beer would you even put it in?
I'd probably want something like maybe even like a Hefeweizen or something. That goes good with that.
Yeah.
Citrusy candy. Yeah, Mars. Yeah.
And wouldn't
Wrigley.
the Skittles just disintegrate?
Yeah, that's the thing. You'd have to get some kind of weird coating on them or package them separately or something.
Yeah, because it would just turn into a frothy, sugary mess.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or it would be like those goopy ones. Like when they used to make that. What was that? Orbits or whatever? Orbs? That soda that had goopy balls in it. It might be like that.
Ooh. I mean, if I want that, I'll just get bubble tea.
Nah.
That's just tapioca.
Yeah.
I prefer my drinks sans balls.
I like my drinks like I like my ladies. Sands balls, sanding their balls.
not sand in the balls.
Okay, so wait, what is it? Oh, I forgot already. City of New York versus Homer Simpson. That is going to be covered in November of 2025.
That's a little bit sooner than the Japan episode.
Yeah. So does that mean that it's ranked higher or not? I don't know.
I mean,
That's the great thing about the bracket. It kind of mixes up the whole rankings.
yeah. Because I really liked this episode. I thought
Yeah.
it was very funny. The Lisa bit was fantastic.
That's great.
Just the entire team and Bart just recognizing he's just on this team because he just likes to play. He's
Yeah.
not good, but he knows it. And of course, the cut bit.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Hmm.
It's like, you're cut. Oh boy, you're definitely cut.
Oh, this guy, you got a lot of moxie, which makes it hard for me to have to cut you.
I actually think that this episode used Lisa perfectly.
Hmm.
Because a lot of times when she's not like the star of the episode, she'll get like one joke at best.
Yeah.
This one, every time she showed up, it was for a joke. Because there was the a girl can't.
Yeah.
You think a girl can't play football? There was that bit, which was gold.
Yeah.
When she was falling down the stairs in the morning, and Homer's just like, well, if you don't want to play football, then why were you on the obstacle course? Which is great. And when Homer finally corners Bart into giving him a hug,
Yeah.
and then Lisa's like, I
While
got
he's
it.
driving.
And then she grabs the steering wheel and she's competently steering.
Yeah, she's prepared for this. This isn't her first time steering
Mhm.
from the back seat. Although I bet usually it's because he's choking Bart.
Yeah.
I guess.
I do think these were very perfect uses of
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lisa. And also, like, it didn't do the thing I thought it was going to, where it falls into like Lisa the moralist,
Right.
Mhm.
which was the entire point of the first gag.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I understood it. I was like, oh, okay, they're playing with what our expectation was.
Right.
This episode isn't about that. Thank God.
Yeah. So it's like they did it, 5 years earlier, I think, with the hockey one, kind of. So it's like, okay, got it.
And I'm fairly sure they've probably done it afterwards as well.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
statistically,
yeah.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, they
guess.
had to. I mean, the Simpsons have done everything to the point where now they have to do things that they've done already.
I would honestly not be surprised if there's a later episode where the plot is Lisa forces her way onto a boys' football team.
Yeah, I bet that happens.
I'm waiting for them to do another peyote episode. Wait, no, it wasn't peyote. It was really bad. It was
Yeah,
really.
it was
the hot
chili.
sauce.
Yeah.
I love that episode.
It wasn't peyote. It was chilies and a coyote.
It was chilies that caused a religious experience.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to bring up from this one is the when they had to figure out the play at the end, and Homer's going to say, "Oh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to do," and he looks down at the electric football set and is like, "Okay, you two shake around over there, and you fall on the ground and go around in a circle." It's very funny. That's how we did. That was a simulation.
Yeah, it makes sense why Bart could absolutely not win. It's like, even if he was not as bad as he was, like, Homer wasn't coming up with plays or anything.
Yeah.
So obviously the team was just carried by the fact that Nelson was just bigger and stronger than every other child in the state.
Just able to literally bulldoze through people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He says, "Oh, I'm going to have Bart block for me in this one." He just picks him up and uses them like a shield. Very funny.
That was hilarious. That was such a good gag.
And of course, what's really weird about this episode is that Ned Flanders is the coach, and his both his sons Rod and Todd are on the team, and Ned Flanders loves Jesus, very religious man, but his kids, they have 666 as their numbers.
Oh, I never
He
noticed that.
stops that. Yeah, so it's so very out of character for him. So I hope someone got fired for that blunder. I need to make that a segment and make a caption for that. Got to figure out what that is in every episode.
I hope that person got cut.
Yeah.
I also love the gag where everyone was downing on Homer for getting rid of Nelson as the quarterback. I hope you go to heaven. Oh no, they're going on Bart rather.
On Bart, yeah. So you do it again, you're dead. He's like, "Oh, you're going to heaven." It's good use of Ralph in this one. Who gets put on special teams. That was the one joke where I was like, okay, I don't know if we're gonna make that one again.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a spicy one.
Yeah. Oh, but also one of my favorite Nelson bits was when his dad picks him up on the motorcycle and it's like, "Okay, I'm taking you to Hooters."
Oh, I don't want to bother mom at work. I was like, "Oh,
It's very good.
good stuff, good stuff."
I love it. Hey, I think that's all I got out of my notes. Aside from there's one other African thing I forgot about.
I was gonna say that's the best use of Nelson too in this episode, because I usually hate.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun when he's like a ha gag.
Yeah. You don't need too much Nelson in an episode. I usually don't like it when there's too much Nelson. But this one worked. Because he's not doing Nelson stuff most of the time.
When he's just used as a character, and able to actually do things, not just commenting.
Yeah, like watching bully people.
I mean, the best bullying moment is was it 30 Tales from Springfield anyway? So
The big man in the little car.
My favorite. Just now walk. Also one of my favorite episodes of all time. But I think that's probably on everyone's top.
Yeah, that's definitely so that's the it's steamed hams. That's a whole thing all on itself. We could do a whole marathon of just steamed hams content.
Oh, there's so much steamed hams.
But the Homer Spirit Quest one. We're going to be covered in February of 2027. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, so far away.
I wait that long to see that episode. Wait, I can just watch it now.
You can.
I'm not going to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Until
But we won't discuss it until 2027.
Yeah.
We can't talk about it. If I ever open my mouth to speak it, it's like reverberates in my mouth, like I'll explode, like
No,
black bolts.
You can talk at us about it.
Yeah,
We just won't respond.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, at least I don't have to worry about exploding like Black Bolt. That's cool.
Imploding your own head.
Mm-hmm.
The most brutal of deaths.
Since we're off topic, there is one important bit of information that I wanted to share with you guys that I just found out. The movie Terror on the Prairie, the Daily Wire produced Western starring Gina Carano. You know, the movies that she got because she fucked herself out of Star Wars for being stupid.
Yeah.
Total gross, according to the numbers.com, $804.
Dollars?
Yes.
Oh, they just open on one screen probably.
One screen and only $800.
Right.
$804 total domestic box office gross.
Wow.
I'd love to see it. You know what they say: you go woke, you go broke.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Okay, well, I gotta ask you guys.
When I read that, I was just like, divine justice.
Because
Carano was never a big draw anyway, so it's not like she was gonna. Aside from being on Mandalorian, she didn't really have much going. She was the hell of the MMA stuff, but like people didn't really care that much. I don't think.
no.
No, there were a lot of people that were upset up until she started parroting right-wing talking points.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they were on her side.
It's true. There's definitely people that are into that. But not here. Here we have to figure out who wins between Simpson Safari and Bart Starr.
Bart Starr by a landslide.
Yeah, I think we can all agree it's Bart Starr. Bart Starr is the winner.
So much.
The difference between the two, much like on this January 9th, 2023, is like the college football championship, an embarrassing loss. That was a shellacking that happened tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah, TCU got with like 65-7 or something.
Wow. Yeah, it's like that's like murder rule kind of situation.
Oh, they don't have those in football.
Wow. They really
Unless
should.
someone actually dies.
Right.
If someone actually dies on the field, then they have to stop the game.
That's I saw somebody ask an AI what are the rules about having a dog play basketball, and it answered that even though there's no rules against it, it would be treated as a sort of a dangerous distraction or something. It would be removed from the court instead of being allowed to play.
If absolutely nothing else, I think that you would have to list a dog as part of the roster before the game starts.
Yeah, you can't just add where a random person just come onto the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but okay.
The episode's whooping was so bad it needs a Simpsons meme to describe it, and it's basically "Stop! It's already dead."
Yeah. And the thing is, like, on that Discord poll I did, they're tied still, Simpson Safari and Bart Starr, because people remember. We have a clear memory that the Simpsons went to Africa, and funny things did happen.
Yeah, they remember the cheetah joke.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it since before 9/11, you don't really remember how many jokes aren't good anymore, or were they good to begin with? Probably. It wasn't even a great episode.
Yeah. I mean, again, I hit the lip disc, and I was like, "Wait, this got made." As soon as I hit that, I had to pause the episode and step away. I was like, "Wait a second."
if we're delivering judgment via Simpsons memes,
Right.
all of the people who voted for Simpson Safari are going to rewatch the episode, and then they're going to do the Homer backing into the bush.
I was thinking they go down, ooh, and like pulling their neck skin. It's like, I didn't know you were wearing a sweater. Ooh.
All right. So next week, Hungry Hungry Homer versus Dumbbell Indemnity. Don't know how much you guys remember those episodes. I remember Hungry Hungry Homer. That's when he goes on a hunger strike.
Dumbbell
Oh.
Indemnity is part of Joe's favorite season.
That's season 9.
Okay. Season 9.
Yeah. I only know that because we were looking through the list of what episodes were in season 9, so we could guess what Joe's favorite was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
so
you
it'll be in there
now
for
you know. I should have saved it as a secret.
Yeah. And Dan Connell can't wait till next week.
Yeah.
Dan.
Because
he'll be on.
Okay.
with us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he remoting in from somewhere on the mainland, or is he back in Hawaii next week?
Don't know where are you currently at, Dan. It doesn't really matter because you're still going to be doing it. online
Dan,
with
the
us
goody
either way.
friend.
But I guess it matters.
Where are
as far
you?
as the time difference, because we don't want him shouting and waking up people that he lives with.
Mhm.
Oh, he got back last night. There you go.
Okay.
On the island. Yeah, so we're going to talk to him about that.
Because I saw that Dan was talking about fun things in Denver.
Oh yeah, he's traveled all over the mainland this past few weeks. So we'll talk to him all about his travels next week.
Ooh.
Oh, and Joe,
Thank
he loves
you.
your cat ear headphones. Yeah, we all love them.
Mm.
Remember, Joe, if you pay for your own airfare and lodging, middle of June, I will buy you a ticket to see Cats with us, and you can wear your cat ear headphones.
I will.
Oh yeah, well, you guys have anything else you want to say to the internet before we say good night?
If you ever decide to write an episode of a television or a play or anything, and it's about a culture you don't know a lot about, seek out the voices of people that don't look like you before you make that episode. I think that's just sound advice for media creation.
That's the other thing I wanted to mention real quick is that I mean, mostly Hank Azaria doing the voices for this one, but and I don't think there were any black actors doing any of the voices.
I was curious about that. I was like, are any of these people black? I know historically Simpsons pretty much just relies on their talented voice actors to make very smart decisions.
But
that's half meant as a joke.
Yeah, there's a lot of backlash against the poo in the last few years, so they've changed the rules where they don't have white actors portraying non-white characters anymore. So you can definitely tell with Dr. Hibbert was the time I noticed, like, hey, his voice is different. Yeah, so they have a black actor playing him now.
The only oh, sorry, what were you saying, Joe?
Oh no, I was interrupting you. Was it?
I was going to say the only parting thoughts that I have for people is it may not be the Congress that we want, but at least it's a Congress.
Yeah, that's true. We got a Congress. I know they're hopefully.
It took them 15 tries to even get that far.
Yeah,
but it's there now, and that's something.
Mm-hmm. That it's not nothing.
Yeah,
which is what it was before that.
It's true. Just a loose conglomeration of jerks. But now there's people. There's some organization there. The legally required amount of organization. All right, we're gonna write out on the Rashomon joke. Joe, remember this for 2025 when we have you back on for this.
He's gonna remember it differently from us.
Yeah, he is. It's just gonna be a whole thing.
It's gonna be great.
This is it. And we'll say good night. See you guys next week with Dan Connell.
Come on, Homer. Japan will be fun. You like Rashomon?
That's not how I remember it.